You can walk anywhere in this world, and niggas will be like, where you from, New York?
Yeah.
Anywhere. They not saying, where you from, Cali? Where you from, New Mexico? Are you from Detroit? No, nigga.
And so,
where you from, nigga, New York?
Let me show you how arrogant New Yorkers is. We don't even think we got an accent. They're like, you got an accent. I'm like, no, motherfucker. You got an accent.
Alcohol, right?
So we're here. Championship season. A lot of expectations. Everyone wants to be down in Battery Park come June. But there's a lot of things that's going to have to lead to that buildup. And in this segment right here, we're going to get into it. It's going to be nice and juicy. A lot of good shit. I'm not going to lie, Mike Brown. At the end of the day, this offense is going to be a slow working progress. Hopefully we get the wheels going very quickly by January. We'll start to see everything kind of come together. But in this segment, once again, right here, we're going to see the evolution of his offense, how he ran it in Sacramento with far lesser talent versus what the Knicks have. But we're going to see how his vision, he's going to try to implement that into the Knicks. And also, we're going to see a nice little sample size of how that offense started working for the Knicks in the beginning versus current day. Guys are transitioning and creating more opportunities, but sometimes within that offense, we get stuck into just being in isolation. And also, we'll touch on Mikal Bridges, as he's been one of the brighter spots in this offense. It's a little more community-based than what we're used to seeing, and that's a good thing as a league today. A lot of the top teams have 10 to 11 guys that can impact the game, and a lot of the, I would say, negative effects of that Pacers series, we've seen it happen there. The Knicks not having the same bench that can keep up with them dropping 35 points a night. I mean, ironically, a lot of the negatives from that Pacers series is really the difference from the Knicks getting to the championship. And that's another part of this segment that we're going to get deep into, because a lot of nuances that happen in that series is still affecting us current day. So starting things off, just looking at Mike Brown's offense with the constant movement, the centers really initiating dribble handoffs. One thing he's going to have to take into consideration is that Karl-Anthony Towns, unlike Sabonis in the past, or even guys like Julius Randle, who have that ability to drive and kick out, that's not really Towns' game. So guys are really going to have to create some alternative. You see, when Town cuts off his dribble, what's the next move right here? The offense tends to stall. And once again, we're going to go through this layer by layer and take a look at more of the things that the Kings did with Mike Brown as they consistently got into brand new actions, whether on ball or off. As right here, Sabonis is going to do a little ghost screen right here. This two-man with Fox. And as soon as he gets the ball, look how he instantly looks to get into another action right here. Now, Malik Monk is going to act like he's going to go into this dribble handoff ball screen, but he's going to use it as a chance to make a little cut right here. And instantly, Sabonis, you see how he made the pass, and he's instantly coming in to support him to possibly get into another action if possible. But that's what Mike Brown did with the Kings. They constantly look to get into some shit. And sometimes some of the Knicks players stall the offense. As right here, these guys are constantly trying to get into brand new actions. As right here, this dribble handoff, he doesn't get it. But watch right here. I believe this is Hart here. He's going to instantly screen and give this offensive player an option either to take the screen or reject it in the back door. See, it's constant movement. And now Hertier has an option to do the same. So constant actions. Guys are always looking to do 2v1s and just see what happens. That's why Mike Brown during the preseason, I believe it was the third or second game where the starters didn't really play, he stated that he didn't really run any plays. He kind of let guys get a feel. This is what he was looking for. Here's the Knicks going through the motions, working through the Kings. That's one action right there with Cat rolling. And then you got a screen right here. And perfect. Now there's another action right here. Cat rolled and into a screen for Shamet to get wide open possibly. And then where's the next one? It should be a continuous thing. Cat's open too for a split second. And honestly, it generated an open shot. If Josh Hart was willing to pull the trigger, this is an open shot right here. But you're seeing slowly how the Knicks' decision to get Mike Brown is going to pay dividends. It's just they got to go through the motions, unfortunately. Now, here's the Knicks bench unit going through the motions right here against a very interesting Miami defense. Eric Spoelstra loves to put the Knicks right here in a situation to shoot. As the Heat, they play sort of a man-to-man, sometimes zone. As Bam right here, he's kind of in a zone. But multiple actions are happening right here. Kolek setting a screen, Cat rolling, and now he's possibly going to get into the mix of setting screens. Look at Bam. Bam is still in the zone. Another action by Cat. The Heat defended this well, but this is a tough defense for this Knicks secondary unit to kind of work out the kinks of this offense through. Now, when the Knicks offense does get stuck, like right here, we're going to see the Kings under Mike Brown offense gets a bonus to reset. He's going to reset right here when nothing happens after their actions. Now they're going to get into another one with Keegan Murray. He's going to act like he's going to set a flare screen, but he's just going to book it. He's going to ghost it. It looked like it was going to be a screen set up for Barnes to possibly get an open three, but he's going to ghost it. He sees the opportunity. And Sabonis, most importantly, he's making these reads in real time. Now here's the Knicks going through the same reset right here. Nothing is going to happen. And now pay attention to Ariel as Josh Hart tries another dribble handoff for Mikal, but it's going to be empty. But pay attention to Ariel. He's going to reset it right here. Comes up, and now they could work it. Brunson gets the and one. Not having that offense stall out and get into quick decision making is going to be extremely important. It's right here, Mikal. He's going to be off position. He's supposed to be setting the second screen right here, but he's going to miss it. See, it's too late, but it still generates an opportunity for him. You see right here, quick decision making, attack. Mikal's in his space. This is his bag right here. Plenty of room to operate. And Bridges has definitely been in his bag to start off the season, because sometimes within this Mike Brown offense, them just shooting threes, even though when they're not hot, they're still trying to attempt to open threes. The mid-range is actually easier. It's going to be more wide open at times. And that's really where we see Mikal cooking this season. And that also is having a trickle-down effect on his three-point shooting. He can kind of get in rhythm, and by the time he starts shooting those open threes, Mikal is hot, boy. And if you don't believe me, Mikal's been hot this season. Look at right here. JB's on the floor. They're going to call isolation for Mikal to take this last shot. We've never really seen it like this last season. That boy been in his bag. Yeah, Mike Brown's offense is definitely going to allow other guys to get into rhythm. It's not going to be just Mikal. We're going to see Kolek. We're going to see Deuce McBride. There's going to be plenty of other guys that's going to get into their groove. Man, even Landry Shem is going to be getting to a bag every once in a while, having 20-point game explosions. It wouldn't shock me at all. And also Jalen Brunson and Karl-Anthony Towns, them dropping 25 to 30 points a game. It's going to happen with a lot less effort. It's going to be much more smooth. And it will be interesting to see how guys like Josh Hart kind of find their place within this offense. Because even in Sacramento, Malik Monk, he's not really known as a three-point shooter, but he was still able to get to the cup and just kind of still do his thing. But Josh Hart is going to have to get a sort of different feel of just how to provide his value to the Knicks this season, because he's not going to be a regular starter. And I also like the fact that Mike Brown has used that Josh Hart kind of flex position, that starting position. He kind of uses it as a flex, because it could be Mitch starting. It could be Shamet starting, depending on the matchup. I kind of like the Knicks being this way going forward. And speaking of Josh Hart's minutes, it also could be affected because of defensively what Yabusele brings to the Knicks. See right here with that strength, that girth, we really need it. And the reason why I'm saying defensively his minutes could be even more limited is because depending on the matchup, especially last year going up against the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals, Pascal Siakam was creating a lot of mismatch issues for the Knicks in transition. They could not defend Pascal. He was either posting up, he was pulling up from three, he was killing not only Josh Hart, but as well as Deuce McBride. So the Knicks definitely need more guys with girth, like Yabusele. Hopefully he can do a lot more scoring on the offensive end to stay on the floor. But also, I'm hoping Big Mohammed comes around, because I do like his size. He has that sort of Luol Deng size to him. His wingspan allows him to do things on the court that you would not expect, especially in Summer League. Him grabbing a bunch of offensive rebounds, just being a havoc for guys trying to box him out during free throws. That shit was kind of crazy, but it wasn't a coincidence because it kept happening over and over. And just going back to Josh Hart, as well as some of the guys like Deuce McBride that the Knicks do have on their team, players like Pascal Siakam created a huge mismatch, which was killing us throughout the whole series. He was one of the players for the Pacers that was consistently killing the Knicks. So that is another dynamic with Josh Hart that is at play defensively. His minutes could be even more limited depending on the matchups. And these times for Josh Hart are going to get interesting, because he is approaching his final year, his final guaranteed year for the Knicks. Even though he has 2 years left on that deal, the Knicks do have the team option in 2028. So normally players that has this type of archetype, guys that are known for their hustle and just him being in his early 30s, Marcus Smart, Drew Holiday, Iman Shumpert, once they start showing they're on the decline, teams tend to move off those guys real quick. Again, in NYC, we all love Josh Hart. He's been a great figurehead, but this NBA business is cold. And this season, he's not off to a good start, especially with that back issue. And also, he does need some sort of hand surgery. I forgot just off the top of my head, either on his finger or his wrist. This season, definitely be on the lookout for some of the dynamics of what's going on with Josh Hart. And last but not least, another player that ingratiated himself well with NYC with his 8-ball jackets and his fitteds and his overall swag. Cat kind of switched up, but we get you. You feel in the city, you know, it is a beautiful thing. NYC is like no other place. Maybe Chicago might come second when it comes to fans just interacting with the players and just knowing their team. But for Karl-Anthony Towns, there's a lot of dynamics that played out in that Indiana Pacers series, that Eastern Conference Finals from 2025, that I'm seeing continues to trickle over into the current season. His showing out in Milwaukee, not necessarily even dominating Kyle Kuzma. We can't let Fashion Nova Kuzma be styling out here. That's unacceptable. And also in his matchup going up against the Chicago Bulls, the Knicks had a nice little run in the fourth quarter, and as soon as he came back in, there's been a lot of defensive mishaps. We got a 5-point game here. The Knicks are mounting a comeback. And look at Towns right here. He's going to completely lose track of Vooch. Vooch is a stretch 5. He could pop out from 3. But Cat completely lose track of him. And look at this poor closeout. Vooch just get past him. And for Karl-Anthony Towns this season, I understand he's trying to find his groove within this offense. But the Knicks are a lot closer than what people think of getting a championship. The only difference from them last season versus the NBA champions, the Oklahoma City Thunder, is that the way the Knicks had reacted in game 2 against the Pacers. That's the only real difference. OKC had game 1 stolen at home the same exact way the Pacers stole game 1 from the Knicks. The only difference is that they had 2 star players that are willing to respond not only offensively as well as defensively. SGA as well as Jalen Williams had their backs against the wall multiple times in that series, almost going down 3-1 against the Pacers. But they stood tall and locked up defensively, especially SGA in game 4 in that third quarter. He could not score, but he held up defensively, making a lot of great plays, and then he woke up in the fourth quarter. And that's really the difference between the Knicks and the final 4 teams that was remaining in the NBA playoffs last season. Out of the Timberwolves, the Pacers, the Knicks were really the only team where both of their stars were a major defensive liability. And ideally this season, we'll see if Leon Rose continues to go with this Karl-Anthony Towns, Jalen Brunson duo. It sounds great on paper with the pick and roll, but the way the league is today, there's a bunch of 6'7", 6'8" guys that are defending multiple positions, and they're also spreading the floor with the 3-point shooting. So Brunson, in a way, because of his size, is already a liability. And Karl-Anthony Towns, with the bad positioning, the pick and roll defense, just compromising other players, Don't be shocked if this duo is not that long-lived in NYC. Once again, the Knicks are trying to mount a comeback. Still plenty of time. Karl-Anthony Towns gets an open shot. But look at him. Look at his follow-through. He's going to stay in this pose and just lose track and just allow the Bulls to get behind him. Where's Vooch? Vooch is your man. Where's Vooch, Cat? Cat's going to be off position and just gets beat. We've seen this before in Game 5. Look at Karl-Anthony Towns. After like a dramatic play where he acted like he got fouled, he got back on defense late. But look at his awareness. Shamet, yes, he does have a mismatch with Pascal. But Towns, man, just the awareness. It's always going to be out of position. Runs right past the open three-point shooter. Cat sometimes always has the Knicks almost playing whack-a-mole. Right here, he clearly sees the screen coming. He's not going to hedge, add any ball pressure or nothing. And now it's going to compromise Deuce McBride right here, as he has to help out on Vooch being the roller. And now Josh Giddey, man, he's getting to the bag in this game. Here's Cat again in Game 2 in the Eastern Conference Finals. He finally hedges, puts some ball pressure on TJ McConnell, but the recovery and the communication is poor. The communication between him and Cameron Payne is poor, and the whole defense gets compromised. See, both men now are on Ben Shepherd, and Turner is going to be wide open. Turner and Pascal. It's like going to pick your poison here. Mitch tried to close out on Pascal. Pascal at this point, he was hot. And Mitch is compromised once again. But guys definitely got to communicate more and take that onus of being a team captain. Now, last season in the playoffs going up against the Celtics, the Knicks were more on point with the switching. Or I should say peel switching. Like Cat would normally call for someone to pick up his original defender and he would stay back. Like him and Brunson did a really good job with that. But right here, guys, communication don't really look on point, even though they get bailed out for a second. But the communication it doesn't look like it's on point yet. Guys are definitely not in sync. But Cat is one of the highest paid guys on the team. He's one of the leaders. Got to speak up. Once again, looking at it again, Cat's all the way in the back line. He's the low man. He can see everything. So just call out the peel switches here. Look at OG. They leave it up to OG to kind of direct everything. So in order for the Knicks to level up to get to that championship tier, because at some point in the season, they're going to have to separate themselves from the rest of the Eastern Conference. In order for the rest of that NBA ecosystem to take them serious as one of the championship contenders. And just some of the holes we're still seeing that's carrying over from that previous season is preventing them from kind of cementing themselves on the ground from that type of position. And ironic enough, the championship players can see through all this. I like how Shaq last season in that Eastern Conference Finals, with the Knicks having their season on the line in Game 5, going into the fourth quarter, just seeing all the blunders Cat was making, he called them out on it. It was very subtle, but he definitely called them out on it because Shaq understands once you get to that championship level, them stupid airheaded moments you have, especially on defense, it seems like when you black out, things like that have to be non-existent. And unfortunately, I'm seeing a lot of the same things repeat with Karl-Anthony Towns with all the expectations that the Knicks have for this season. But you guys check out what Shaq had to say after that Game 5.
Well, I got to say something now. I got to criticize you. Yeah, man, why do you be getting them dumb fouls?
I was going to ask the same question.
Why do you do that?
God only knows.
I mean, because, when you got your fourth foul, they took you out. They made a run.
Yeah.
You got to stop doing that.
I got to do a much better job.
Yes.
And they definitely made a run, and the Knicks end up being down almost by 20 points entering the fourth quarter in an elimination game. Once again, Karl-Anthony Towns, he's going to have to tighten up.
I got to do a much better job.
You can get fouls, but a couple, like the other day when you just grab somebody by the wrist.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Or you talking about last game or this game?
Last game.
Every game.
Oh, you talking about the one with the pick and roll?
Every game,
Yeah, you just grabbed it.
Now, notice how Shaq said every game. Shaq peeps it. It's like, yo, that dumb shit can't happen when you trying to get on this championship level. You got to be on point. I'm going to replay that one more time.
Are you talking about last game or this game?
Last game.
Every game.
Oh, you talking about the one with the pick and roll
Every
and
game,
Neesmith?
nephew.
You just grabbed his arm.
Yeah.
But you can't be getting no
Nah,
fouls.
I can't. You ain't wrong.
Yeah, he's definitely not wrong. You definitely fucking up, Cat. It is what it is. It's going to be a long, slow burn to start it off, but at some point during the season, the Knicks are going to have to start separating themselves from the rest of this conference. And this is what we're going to be on the lookout for. And Mike Brown, you know, he has the ability to make adjustments. That's one good thing. This is the first season that the Knicks are playing a more modern style according to how the league is. But unfortunately, sometimes when you do that copycat, you know, they're always saying it's a copycat league, but when you're trying to copy teams, sometimes franchises are a little bit too late, because right now the league is still evolving and it's looking like they're going back to more of a big man lineup, because with all the 6'8", 6'7" guys that are in the league, and the centers are just displaying more of a skill set. Guys like Wemby coming in, you got Chet down in OKC, you got Jokic. You know, even I would say the Portland Trailblazers, to a degree, they play with a lot of bigs. So that dynamic of the league is starting to make its return. But it's going to be an interesting season.